Yo! Welcome to my channel. My name is Vico. Tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. I appreciate all of you that have stopped by and watched the few videos that I've posted of me playing guitar. But yeah, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to build a tiny, what I consider tiny, but mighty pedal board. Let's get started. All right, so why are we doing this? And what are we doing? Over the past year, I've been going to a good amount of local open mics, and I've also recently joined a band. The name of the band is Yard Sale Kings. Please check them out. I'll put links in the description below. We actually have a gig coming up here in the next couple weeks. So yeah, what I've noticed is I used to, go around with a Princeton, and then I started bringing a Princeton amp plus a few pedal board, or not a few pedal boards, a medium-sized pedal board, and it got to be a little much, especially for an open mic where you might have 15 minutes to do your set, and that's a bit of an overkill. But I do like having a little pedal board with me that I can sort of put in a tiny bag that attaches to my gig bag that has some of the basic effects, reverb, an overdrive, maybe a delay, a tuner, who knows. And being that I have to go to these multiple gigs and open mics, and I actually also host my own open mic, I have to bring this gear around with me. And so the smaller the better in some ways, but I also don't want to limit myself to the type of sound sculpture. I don't know. And as much as I want to take my beautiful orange AD30 head plus the cab everywhere with me, it is just not feasible. Again, for a tiny little 15-minute set, just not doable. So what I usually do lately is I bring it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite amp. It's a Magnatone Starlight. It's a tiny little 5-watt amp, but only has volume and tone. And so I like to bring a small pedal board with me that has reverb, delay, a little overdrive, and a tuner, just to get things moving. And I can do that all with gig bag on my back, holding the amp with one hand, and I get a free hand, and it weighs nothing. So yeah, let's get started. So for this build today, and honestly for all my pedal boards, I always use a Chox. I think it's called Chox. You know what? Let's move this over just a little bit. I usually like to start by putting the first and last pedal on the chain first. All right, so this pedal board is definitely going to have a tuner. Definitely going to be using the delay pedal I showed you. So why do I put the first and last pedal? Because that gives me an idea of how much room I have in the middle, and it makes it easier to space things out. So like I said, we start with this power supply back here. The cool thing about the Chox ones is that the power supply cables are super tiny. That's another reason I like the Warwick Rockboards, is because they have these lips inside, which makes it easy to hide cables, and you'll see that in just a minute. So this pedal right here, the tuner pedal, the turbo tuner, has a power outlet in the top. I usually like to put my tuner pedals slightly offset. That way I don't accidentally hit them. And that's gonna be this bad boy right here. So put this bad boy in there. Look at that, looking good. A lot of people like using reverb and tremolos last. I've been experimenting with having my delay pedals last, and honestly, I've been loving it. So let's slap this bad boy in there. Let's go ahead and put that in there. So now we can start putting the pedals in the middle. Now, I'm not an anarchist, so I will put reverb right before the delay. Not that there's anything wrong with switching it up. And my trusty, the Dane. So first things first, let's make sure that all pedals are gonna have some sort of power supply. There we go, it works. And boom. Epic. Okay, so I'll start by plugging it in right here on the input side and putting it all the way in the output side right here. And I won't slap the pedal down just yet. I'll kind of just hover it. And look at that. Not only does it fit, but we actually, whoopsies, Not only does it fit, but we have room. Not for another pedal, obviously, but we have room to maneuver things and clean up these cables. This is why I love the Rockboard, man. It's just so nice. Look at that. The reason I did it kind of offset is, one, if I hit the boost or the drive, I'm not accidentally going to turn off my reverb or accidentally mute. I mean, this thing is never, I mean, these things are built like, I love Boss pedals. All right, so next, let's flip this bad boy over and plug it up. You could just shove it however you want, but I like to put them in order. That's gonna go to number 1. The Dane will go to number 2. Next up, we have the Flint. That'll go to number 3. And that'll go to number 4. Look at that. I mean, that took like no time at all. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. What do you like to bring in your small little pedalboard? Small pedalboard. What do you like to bring on your small pedalboard? Is it simpler than this? Is it more complicated than this? But yeah, that's it. Thanks again for watching. Peace out.